Especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers.
A lot of the Somali women, unfortunately, I mean, we have to have this discussion. You know, there's high rates of prostitution among Somali women. And
تذكر يوما كنت تعانق دمعة الفكر تناجي الله في صبر وترجو رحمة تسري فعاش القلب إخلاصا وصرت تحوم كالطير تحلق في ثقافات وتنهل من ربى الخير.
Asalaamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Welcome to another video of the show we have no name of. We're here actually, we just want to get away from all those, names. Forget the names here, yeah? We want to talk about real issues, inshallah, that affect our community as a whole. We've got Brother Dawood. How you doing, Dawood?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good.
Alhamdulillah, that's good. As you can see, Dawood is mashallah speaking into the mic. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so today, obviously, putting jokes aside, we're going to be talking about a serious topic, inshallah. So as you guys may know or not know, Sheikh Said Reggae, I don't know how to pronounce it. Reggae,
Yeah.
Okay, so he made some statements about the American African community. Yeah?
African American,
forgive me. Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I need to correct me. Yeah, African American community. Yeah. So now we're going to listen to that. Yeah, inshallah. And straight after that, we're going to be talking about, or take your side from Dawood, because something that's from your background.
Yeah.
And let's just get straight into it, inshallah.
People that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, most of them were the product of one night stand. One night stand.
But I'm gonna pause it. Usually I like to watch it in full.
yeah,
But that is actually, firstly, we know it's disturbing.
yeah,
And let's not behave and act like
Yeah.
we haven't heard it before.
yeah,
It's disturbing.
yeah.
But you're having people in the crowd laughing. Did you hear
Yes,
that?
yes.
This is why I wanted to stop it, because you
yes,
can see
yes.
people are actually laughing.
Laughing, yes.
Now, the community here, can we say they are African?
They're African, 100%. They're black Africans.
Can we say this in the context, because obviously we know, like, Somalis,
Yeah.
some of them don't define themselves as black.
Yeah,
So do you think there's that thing internally of, like, he's not talking about us?
yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But the fact is, it's an African crowd and it's a black crowd,
Yes.
and this is apparently in Kenya. It's not even in America,
Okay.
so it makes it even more interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's carry on.
Yeah, like
They
he's
would tell-
smirking, literally. The
Yeah,
one guy
yeah.
smirking.
I don't know. My
Look here,
father.
that guy's
Well, who
smirking.
named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا. أبناء الزنا. Why? Because man, he has to give up the seed. And because the marriage will limit them, they will go from one to another to a third. Subhanallah. It's one of the African American brother who accepted Islam. He said, Sheikh, Islam limited me. Only allowed me 4 wives. He said, before I became a Muslim, I had 40 girls, mashallah, tabarakallah. And I used to maintain all of them well, tabarakallah. But he said, now Islam is limiting me only to 4. So children will be well taken care of. And they won't be children who do not know.
So basically, the context of this khutbah,
Okay,
for people
yeah.
who don't know,
Yeah.
was about polygamy.
Oh.
So yeah, that was the context. It was about polygamy.
Okay. But
Yeah.
then again, you know what it is? Like, I can see from his face.
Yeah.
He genuinely doesn't believe what he said is wrong. Like,
Yeah.
he genuinely
Yeah.
thinks
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Now, we can say that maybe the sheikhs, I don't know. I don't even know what excuse to give him. But what said is wrong. There's no, like, okay, he meant this, he meant that.
I mean, it's wrong because he apologized. He apologized.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
thing is, for him to now say there was a black African American who said I had 40 girlfriends.
Yeah.
You see, what's happening is, and this is, I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
within the Asian community,
Yeah.
sadly,
Yeah.
we're not trying to generalize, we're not
Yeah.
trying to fall into what the sheikh is here, but
Yeah.
towards the black people. So, for example, not one man wanting to marry their daughter
Yeah.
is because this perception of,
Yeah.
he would is promiscuous, or
Yeah.
he would. You get? I'm being honest with you, bro.
Yeah.
You would see this trait.
Yeah.
Even I would say, I don't know about my Turkish Kurdish community. There is that thing with it as well.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's
Yeah.
not as bad, because I know if I
Yeah.
came to a family and said I want to marry a black woman,
Yeah.
it won't be as peak.
But is it not different because you're the man?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But
maybe.
I mean, your mom said to me before, if
Yeah.
she had a daughter, she would
Yeah.
marry me. marry her.
That's a very good point.
So that's your mum. Your mum's different though.
Even that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Even that. I know of situations where they've married a black man. But yes.
Yeah.
But generally,
Yeah.
nah. Generally, nah. But I'll be honest with you. I can hand out my hands down. I can say easily that it's not as worse as the Muslim community. I would say the Turkish non-practicing community, Kurdish community, is more accepting of a black man than sadly with the Muslim community.
Yeah.
I have to be real.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna react to all of them.
Sure.
Yeah. Should we start with, or should we just go straight into what was actually said and put them all into perspective? How do you
I
want to go
think,
about this?
should we go to the next video?
Let's go to the next video. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is let's
So
go to the next video.
so again, brothers and sisters, this video is about the context was of the video that Sheikh Rega was giving was polygamy or polygyny.
Okay.
So he's talking about that.
Okay.
But I feel like we talk about this afterwards.
Yeah,
Let's watch
okay,
this now.
alright,
This is
okay.
now Shadi Mohammed. He's
I don't know who he is.
well, he's not well known in the UK, but he is a brother who's been very outspoken against anti-blackness for a very long time.
Okay.
And I think he's been attacked by the Birmingham brothers and other
Okay.
S-Bubs. And
They attack anything that moves anyways.
yeah, but he's been attacked continuously because
Yeah.
he is someone who is centric to his own community, his African American community, and he cares about them. And
Let's watch
that's
it.
just the context of
Thank you.
who
Let's
he
watch
is. Yeah.
Easy strokes. African Americans are like this, they're like that, and that's the end of it. So as for the first comment that Sheikh Saeed made, he said most African Americans don't even know who their fathers are. That was his comment. Most African Americans don't even know who their fathers are. Okay. Albeit, there are plenty African Americans who don't know who their fathers are. Plenty. African Americans who don't know who their fathers are. Just like there are plenty whites that don't know who their fathers are. There are plenty Hispanics that don't know who their fathers are. There are plenty Somalis who don't know who their fathers are.
True.
I mean,
It's true.
it's true what he's saying. I get what he's trying to do.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Because for someone to give a reminder, if I'm giving a reminder,
Yeah.
I'm talking about a specific group,
Yeah.
that could be not only distasteful,
Yeah.
but why did you, out of everyone, Hispanics, the whites, the Somalis, whoever,
Yeah.
you decided to choose African Americans?
Yeah.
People are going to think that.
Yeah.
Let's carry on.
Am I lying? Am I lying? So you mean to tell me everyone in the Somali community from Minnesota to California to Atlanta to Canada, the projects in Canada, don't you know that they have a project in Canada that is predominantly populated by Somalis? So are you telling me that everyone in that project knows who their father is? There's no Zena. A lot of the Somali women, unfortunately, I mean, we have to have this discussion. You know, there's high rates of prostitution among Somali women in places like Atlanta and other places.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just quickly, I just want to go
Sure,
back.
go ahead, go ahead.
Look, personally, for me, it started off with a distasteful video
Yeah.
with Sheikh Said. Yeah. And it was disturbing. Yeah. And seeing the crowd smile, smirking was disturbing.
Yeah.
Very disturbing. What happened is with this brother, he spoke something in the beginning, it was good.
Yeah.
I think if he left that would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
What makes me how I feel,
Yeah.
trying to be neutral here, is that it's become a tit for tat now. Because the thing is now, it's like he's saying, okay, yeah, because even you see with psychology, like with hand movements, you see before he said the Somali, he did this. Yeah, you know what I mean? We need to talk about it. So you can see he's about to say something that he himself is not comfortable, but he seems deep inside hurt.
Yeah.
He's saying it,
Yeah.
which doesn't make it right. Like Sheikh Said.
Yeah.
So he came and said Somali girls do prostitution. Now to me, if Sheikh Said wasn't a Somali, I would not really have a problem with the statement because he's trying to say that there's
A problem.
There's a problem. But when he's saying that and he's Somali, it seems like, taste what you're making me feel.
Yeah.
And Allah says in the Quran, do not repel evil with evil. Yeah. Now that's easy to be said.
Yeah.
Anyone can just easily come and say, oh, brother, I'm in the Dawah. But sometimes people say something where I'm like, I lose my cool.
Yeah.
Yes, the best thing to do is that. But I think it would have been better if he didn't repel evil with evil and with goodness.
Yeah. I think personally, like you said, we really have to look at before. You can't look at Shahid's video in isolation.
Yes.
You can't take that video out and be like, look, what is he saying?
100%.
Because the root of all evils, not the root of all evils, but
Yes.
the root of this issue that is occurring now
But that's the trait of shaitan.
is
Racism is the
Yeah.
root of that.
yes, of all evils. Yeah, correct. but we have to look at what previously happened, and this sort of is a reaction
Yes.
of what happened.
Yeah.
Especially because Sheikh Saeed, I mean, I've met him before personally.
Yeah.
In Canada, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he seemed very cool, very up to date, and.
Can we just have your shoulder a bit like so the viewers might think, you know what, you're giving them your back.
Sorry, I'm not good with these cameras, but
the cameras are good with you though.
So these things, I met him. He seemed cool, but we have to talk about something we can talk after this video is finished, almost. It's an underlining issue against anti-blackness. It's a term that we Muslims need to come to terms with.
Yeah.
And there's other things that we'll talk about as well, very important. How people reflect away from that stuff. But if you finish off the video, maybe.
I think it's finished. That was the main thing. Yeah.
Okay, then we can go in.
Unless anything, does he add anything else?
Maybe.
Are you telling me all of the children, Somali children, know who their fathers are? Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, basically, what I would say is, Shadid is speaking truth in a sense where he's saying that, look, there's plenty of white people. I mean, I know of people, myself.
Yeah.
I grew up in Germany who were white.
Yeah.
And the dads left them. There's girls who are Algerian. Everything. This thing is not limited to a particular nation.
Yes.
Okay? So I get what he was doing there.
And the video, by the way, it ended like this.
Yeah.
How are you going to sit there and try to defend your honor while destroying another people's honor?
Okay.
So just get context. That's how the video ended. So I don't want to.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, that was like a clip.
That was a clip someone put.
Okay. Cool. And it's a good point. So I think what Shadid is doing here, he's saying, look, let's face it, we all are suffering from this. But I feel like when he added that Somali female situation in ATL, I think he really just wanted to make a point. Yes. And that point, even if it's true, it's like the same thing with Sheikh Saeed. It might be true, like there must be some truth, some truth, not totally, what he's saying, but people will not listen to that and will pick up exactly the things that hurt the most.
Yes.
And that's exactly what's happening with him.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And to be honest, look, like just to counter, I would say, evil with goodness is I think I would like to talk about the good traits of both African American community and the Somali community. Yeah. And I've said this in my video. Like I said before, personally, from my point of view, like the hospitality Africans that when we went to Africa, be it here, etc. You know, the energy, like there's a lot of positivity that I see. You know, be it in their culture, etc. Their way of life. You know, there's a lot of positivity that we can see, and sometimes we need to. And I'm being honest with you, I'm changing even the whole my mindset. Like positivity. You know, just looking and getting the positivity in things instead of always looking at negativity. And you know, with the Somali community, you know, Somalian or Somali, I prefer Somali because Somalis get upset. Is that, you know, alhamdulillah, the attachment to the Quran. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's really good. It's something that can be, you know, those little traits in every culture, you know, you can see it in them. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that connection to the Quran, and alhamdulillah, our Somali sisters, our African sisters, wherever they may be, all of our sisters, they are like our daughters, they are our sisters, they are our mothers. And we should treat them like that. And only just say it because we tend to say things we don't even know the definition for, and we just use it for the sake of it. We genuinely believe this. And myself, you know, man, you've like, I wanted to get married to from that background. The uncle didn't want it. There was some problems, etc. But I'm not going to come and generalize and be like, do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's very, very important for us to understand this and know that racism is a deep issue, and the blacks, the Africans, they have suffered deeply. So there is a wound that is there still, which we need to be very careful to and be sensitive, because it's there, because you can't understand this. And a lot of people say this, you know, oh, you know, this, you can't compare this with, yes, we can. You need to understand that black people have been through hell. So sorry. They have been through hell. They have every right to be sensitive. And for anybody to dare to come and say, oh man, why are you making such a big deal? It's offensive. Because that, what you're trying to say is basically, in my country, they say, the one whose tummy's full will never understand the one that's hungry. You know, your tummy's full. You never know the hunger that, or the struggle we went through. So it's insulting to come and say, oh, get over it. You get over it. You know?
And I would add this beautifully that you're ending it with this, because that's what I wanted to talk about, this term anti-blackness. And it's not a term that is specially applied only to Africans or African Americans. This is something you find amongst the Asian community as well.
Yes.
That if you're darker, as a darker Asian,
Yes.
and
yes.
you have story. I have a friend of mine,
Oh,
a
they
very
use
good.
bleaching. They use
Yeah.
come on.
So I have a very good friend of mine. He's of European, of European heritage, and he's married to an Asian woman, and she is darker. And I had visited them once, and then the topic came up. We were eating, and the topic came up, and she was telling me how much she had suffered as an Asian in her own family, being dark. So they would say things like, "Oh, the way you look, you will never get married."
Bro, they
Things
say
like-
this. Come on, I
yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
I know it, bro. For the Asian, like in my marriage documentary. Oh, there's this girl. She's fair.
Yeah. So these things we need to talk about, and we have to change our attitude about this. As I see,
camera's there.
I see many times people saying
There,
things.
there.
Oh, sorry, I always look into that. So I
Yes.
see many times, and look, this is a topic that I think we Muslims, we should be open to embrace it. We shouldn't like just reject it and belittle it and patronize, act in a patronized manner.
Yeah.
You personally, the person, because usually it goes like this, the argument, the argument goes, well, I'm not racist, like I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Why is he including all of the Asians? I'm Asian or I'm Arab. Well, no, that's not what we are saying. We are saying, look, in a society, and we learned the definition of a community, which means
Yes.
they have communal interest
Yes.
and communal thoughts. So there's
Yes.
particular ideas in a community that is predominantly exchanged. So that means if you say I'm Asian or I'm Arab or I'm whatever or I'm Somali or whatever, I don't hold these views. Your view is a minority because there's evidence upon evidence, and we're going to do another video about this, about these online slave trades in the Middle East.
Yes.
We talk about everything here.
Yes.
That there is beliefs in particular societies against darker skinned people.
Yeah.
Now, I hear usually, so they say that argument, it's not me. Second argument, stop pulling the race card. How can you say that?
Insensitive.
It's the same thing like if someone says like, start pulling the Islamic card when
Yeah,
people
yeah,
say
yeah,
Islamophobia because
Yeah.
somehow Islamophobia, we all know about this.
Yes.
But then when black people want to be talking about this thing, which is real, okay?
Yeah.
Start playing the race card.
Exactly.
And these are these type of arguments.
Yes, and we're going to get
It's
into more
belittling.
detail with future videos, inshallah.
We
brothers
will,
and
we will.
sisters. Thank you, may Allah bless you, Dawah. Be brilliant,
Cheers.
inshallah. From sisters, from Salam Studios. Until next time, Asalaamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.